Hey everyone, welcome back to the Maverick channel. Now, I want to cover this video quite fast because today, apparently, there is an event which is going to be between a representative from Bosch Global, from Fetch.ai, which is a company I talk about here, but I'm going to explain a little bit about it, a representative from Ocean Protocol, and another representative from a company called Datarella, which is behind this company, this organization called Mobix. Now, all these companies, what they have in common is that they're leveraging technology being built by Fetch.ai. Now, in summary, Fetch.ai is a Cambridge-based company founded on the premise of building a multi-agent system, and some of the features they built to support this multi-agent system is, for example, an open economic framework. So think of it as a virtual world. Think of you being in this world and you utilize whatever this world offers you, like, well, oxygen and light and so on, the sun. So this virtual world is specifically, or this open economic framework, that's how they refer to it, is specifically built to house these things called autonomous economic agents. These are agnostic software agents that can be programmed with pretty much any programming language that allow automatic human-to-human interaction, transaction, and human-to-machine transactions, machine-to-machine transactions. Essentially, you can have an agent which is a digital assistant that's attached to you. Because of decentralization, that was one of the key features that made it almost impossible to build true multi-agent based systems. Now with decentralization, you can actually have an autonomous economic agents, and also with cryptography, you can have an autonomous and backward incompatibility. You have these autonomous economic agents that are attached to a particular user, and they are programmed to have the preferences of that particular user, and they keep learning as they work together, as they go through these virtual environments, as they connect to the physical world as well. Now, I hope that wasn't a mouthful, but there's a lot to explain about these ecosystems, about this Fetch ecosystem, the other products that they're building. They've demonstrated how these agents can actually be used, for example, in DeFi, but they can also be used in supply chain, centralized finance as well, so many other aspects of it. For example, this company, Datarella, actually these Fetch people have also partnered, they're in a strategic partnership with Ocean Protocol, but this company, Datarella, is building a micromobility marketplace which utilizes autonomous economic agents in the search and discovery feature, which, by the way, that's how the agents find themselves. They're leveraging these to build this micromobility marketplace that allows users, think of it as an Uber, but focused on urban areas and more like environmentally friendly vehicles, like scooters that are mostly electric. So people can easily connect to those vehicles, search for them in a decentralized manner, and that there's autonomous transaction between a user. For example, it calculates where you're going to go, where you're going to find it, the distance that you're going to go, where you're going to leave it. So any other person can actually find this, and all this happens autonomously whilst protecting the user's privacy data. So there's so much that I've covered in the videos that I made as regards Ocean Protocol, Fetch.ai, Datarella, Bosch Global, the different partnerships, the different consortiums like Catena X, Gaia X, and there's no way I can finish it. I can cover it all in this introduction. But what I want to cover today is, first of all, let me state that there's an event. I made this video yesterday. There's an event which is where the Fetch.ai ecosystem, in collaboration with the Mobix people that are using this, that are building parking agents and this micromobility infrastructure, they're going to demonstrate actual usability of these agents in front of many companies. There's an event called the IAA Mobility event that's going to happen in Munich. They're going to be huge automotive companies like Mercedes-Benz, VW, Renault, and so many. I think pretty much everyone, every big automotive manufacturer within the European diaspora is going to be there. So they're actually going to put themselves on the line by demonstrating this technology and its actual usability. What we want to cover today is to look at this article because I think it has very good nuggets if you want to understand properly the Fetch.ai ecosystem, how it's going to be leveraged, and the Ocean Protocol technology as well, in case you've never looked into it. I think you're going to learn a lot from this article. So after that long-winded introduction, let's continue. So how it starts, how Mobix Marketplace is leveraging Ocean Protocol. Ocean Protocol is one of Mobix's strategic partners, and the protocol plays a key role in delivering the Mobix marketplace's full functionality. But what is Ocean? So in this post, I'll be explaining, or they'll be explaining, what the protocol is and how it interacts with the Mobix marketplace. So in case you want a quick introduction, You can go to the Ocean Protocol marketplace where you can see actual data that is traded by whoever, because it's a decentralized space. You can read about more how you can create data tokens that are ERC20 data tokens on the Mobix on the Ocean Protocol ecosystem. You can read more about their wallet and how these tokens can also be placed in data pools to make them more, to give them more utility, and so on. There's a lot of very interesting stuff happening within the Ocean Protocol ecosystem, as well as the Fetch.ai website. You'll learn a lot from there. Let us continue. What is Ocean Protocol? Ocean is a decentralized protocol that runs atop the Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance Smart Chain blockchains. So the protocol enables to exchange and monetize data and database services, and it achieves this by hosting a market of datasets, which it then offers to startups, researchers, businesses, advertisers, anyone else who might need to make use of this data. So Ocean Protocol uses data tokens to ring-fence datasets. If you don't, ring-fence basically in business is like separating certain aspects of the business that do not necessarily fall within your regulatory requirements, or maybe within that particular jurisdiction. So you want to kind of separate them from a business, maybe they're in another jurisdiction, but you can Google that and find out more about that. So Ocean Protocol uses data tokens to ring-fence datasets, which are redeemed as users access the information. And each dataset possesses its own data token that needs to be purchased via the marketplace for access. So Ocean uses Balancer automated market making pools. So Balancer, of course, I think most of you know it, which is a decentralized marketplace on the Ethereum network, a decentralized automated market maker. So Ocean uses Balancer automated market making pools to set up a Balancer pool for each data token, which allows the market to price the value of that underlying data autonomously. So these tokens are automatically purchased through the Ocean cryptocurrency token when a user wishes to access the dataset. So which is the overarching unit of the exchange on the marketplace, a governance token in its own right, and is also traded speculatively. But how is this different to how the large technology companies offer data? So aside from offering downloadable datasets and server space to store datasets, Ocean has incorporated privacy-forward compute to data feature. So this feature keeps the dataset at arm's length from a consumer of the dataset, preventing the consumer from accessing the data itself, but allowing them to run specific queries against the data or portions of it. So this is achieved through the consumer of the data informing the provider of the query they want to be run, so which then takes place on the provider's own server. Currently, only a few large technological companies are in a position where they have both sufficiently large datasets and the AI with which to process the datasets. Ocean's goal is to be the connecting market between entities that have data or AI, but not the other. Not to mention doing so while protecting the privacy of those holding the data and the particulars of the data itself, or those within the dataset. Ocean Protocol and the Mobix marketplace. Let's see how this ties into each other. So where do Mobix and Ocean Protocol interact? Ocean's marketplace is key to offering Mobix users personalized goods and services, in addition to the less targeted publicly available offerings that will be found within the Mobix wallet application. So Mobix utilizes Ocean to deliver context-sensitive, privacy-preserving advertising based on Ocean's compute to data feature. This means that users will be able to receive personalized product offerings without having to have their data held and processed by the advertisers or a third party. So we've all experienced a perfectly targeted ad on a mainstream shopping or social media site, but with the combination of Ocean, Mobix's SSI basically means self-sovereign identity, so the user's data is protected. So this feature is provided by Datarella and Fetch.ai's autonomous economic agents, which we talked about in the beginning. Your data is fully protected and you can still enjoy adverts for products you may actually want without any extra effort. So how does this work in practice? A user will agree to provide their data to their autonomous economic agent in order for their AEA to, I'm going to call it AEA from now, for their AEA to plan their trip. So for example, if the individual is driving into town, then they will likely be looking for a deep parking solution, which we talked about earlier, to save time. So a multimodal micro-mobility solution to get them to their destination 5 to 10 minutes from their parking spot, and potentially a coffee on the way. So if the user has stated to the AEA they were interested in a coffee, so the AEA keeps track of other AEAs that are offering services that the user is interested in, that has customized their own agent to look for particularly. So you don't get all this clutter and spam that comes from advertisers infringing onto your privacy. So the AEA is linked to the Ocean marketplace and will offer their users data on the marketplace, which can include receipts from past services purchased and their preferences. To entities that might want to advertise to the user, from the example above, likely a deep parking entity, a micromobility service provider, and a coffee shop. So once an actor is linked with another actor, then they are linked between encrypted one-time use communication channels. To further protect their users' data, the AEA will utilize Ocean's compute to data functionality when it's paired with a potential client for the data. As explained above, this means that the AEA will take the data consumer of the data's computation and run it on the data itself, without the data being given to the data consumer, in this example, a business or advertiser. So no personal data is revealed, but the people or AEAs sending advertisements can figure out whether the user is a match for their customized offer. So this benefits everyone, as the user has their privacy protected but still has the convenience of having potential services handpicked and presented to them, while the business stroke advertiser manages to sell a product or service and meanwhile effortlessly compile with GDPR legislation. So once this compute to data is performed within the Mobix wallet, the AEA will provide the results back to the advertising entity. So they can then choose whether the user is suitable for their advertisement, and if so, will send proof of a match with their intended personalized ad stroke offer to the user's AEA. So all this happens between these AEAs. There's no knowing who the end-to-end parties are. So to conclude our example above, once the AEAs had finished pulling offers for the user, in brackets based on their preferences and profile, these would then be displayed within the Mobix wallet application on a map. So we also know that Fetch.ai has actually designed a map where you can actually see agents that have been deployed. So the user will see the ad, then an ad relevance score included, and if they accept, they will have a verifiable credential, a receipt, saved within their data to further tailor adverts to their preferences in the future, and the pseudo-anonymous one-time communication channels will be closed, closing the gate between the user's data and the advertiser. So it's like using your Ledger Nano. You can open a channel with the Ethereum network to trade, and once you're done, you can close that channel, or the Lightning network with Bitcoin. So this will allow users to accept or decline the advertised products paying with Mobix or fiat. That ties back into what I said, that these agents are dynamic. They can be programmed. To create an agent, you need the native FET token. But what the agent does, what it transacts with, you can just program it to transact in any other currency. It could be the native Mobix token, which is based on the Mobix ecosystem, or it could be any other currency that you're interested in. Let me just start again. This will allow users to accept or decline the advertised products, in brackets paying with MobX or fiat, and depending on the offering, earn MobX reward tokens. So for our driver wanting to park, grab an e-scooter ride and a coffee, while interacting with the Ocean Marketplace, their personal AEA would have found a number of spaces, micromobility providers, and coffee shops. It would then highlight the best and most convenient offers for its user, like having your own personal assistant to do all the work for you. Let's look at this last part here, auditing AEA activity. Exciting. So within the Mobix wallet, users will be able to monitor their AEA's background conversations and negotiations with other AEAs through a mobile chat, akin to the user interface of any popular messaging app. So whether the AEA be asking whether there were deep parking spaces nearby or negotiating with advertisers, you will still be able to audit its interactions in the background if you choose. And it's also very cool simply to watch autonomous agents talking to each other. I agree. In closing, if you've enjoyed reading the article above, how Ocean, Fetch.ai, and Mobix interact, then you will be keen to see the integration in practice. As we announced on August 12th, they announced on the 12th of August, Mobix and its strategic partners, including Fetch.ai, Ocean Protocol, Datarella, and Bosch Global, that multi-billion-dollar organization, will be demonstrating a streamlined version of the Mobix wallet application at the upcoming IAA Mobility event that we talked about in the beginning. Look out for the Mobix at the IAA Mobility Blue Lane. So the Blue Lane is specifically designed for training for specifically environmentally friendly vehicles or something like that, or autonomous vehicles, something within that line. So in the interim, and for live updates at the show, subscribe to our Telegram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, whatever, so you can get more information there. So this is pretty much it. It's quite exciting. It's showing that these guys are going to put themselves on the line. They're going to go out there in front of all these companies, you know, BMW, Renault, VW, Mercedes-Benz, whatever, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to take this BMW I-Pace, we're going to take this Jaguar, we're going to take this Tesla, we're going to fit autonomous economic agents, and we're going to show you how these vehicles, through this technology, we're calling it deep parking technology, and through the utilization of the technologies being built by these companies, autonomous economic agents, and this marketplace, this data marketplace, and this multi-agent system, and this open economic framework, and this search and discovery, we're going to show you how this is all optimized and streamlined for your car to autonomously or to automatically be able to search and acquire for you the most optimum parking position relative to where you want to go. And that's sort of a first demonstration of what these AAs can be used for, an actual demonstration in front of all these eyes, in front of all these people, essentially putting yourself, your reputation, and everything that your blood, sweat, and tears in front of these companies. So I think this is a bold move, just like I stated in yesterday's video that I made about Fetch.ai and this demonstration that they're going to make. And it's also a bold move for Mobix, Bosch Global, and Ocean Protocol. These companies have a lot to lose, and they're putting themselves on the line, and I think this means a lot. So guys, as a last sort of take, you don't want to miss the crowdcast that's happening today. It's happening in a few hours. I'm going to put the link in the description if you want to check it out. In a few hours, these companies will all be meeting up, and they'll be discussing, explaining this exciting article, explaining how it's actually practically going to work. So I don't think you want to miss that. So change whatever, if it's late for you, just change that. Make sure you're there. I think it's going to be really exciting, and you'll be able to get your information firsthand from these people, get a better explanation of what is going on. Yeah, so all right guys, I wanted to push out this video before the event happens. I hope you learned something. I hope this kind of prepares you for that event, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you turn up. See you guys there. Do not miss it. I think I'm not going to miss it. I think it's going to be really cool to see the actual companies talk about this. All right, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.